Hello everyone. In this video, we'll be discussing about identity statuses, who developed the concept, what are the related terms, and how it becomes significant in terms of psychosocial and emotional development of the child. Let's move. So we are all identified in different aspects, identifying in terms of gender as a woman, or identifying as a student in terms of our roles. So in different means we are identified. So what is identity? It is an individual's sense of self defined by a set of physical or psychological and interpersonal characteristics that is not wholly shared with any other person, and a range of affiliations, that is ethnicity and social roles. Okay, then it involves a sense of continuity, or the feeling that one is the same person today that one was yesterday or last year. It is despite the physical or all the other changes. Okay, so the such a sense of identity is derived from one's body sensations, one's body image, and the feeling that one's memories, goals, values, expectations, and beliefs belong to the self. So it is also known as personal identity. Then, the identity status, or a significant study on this identity, how the personal identities are formed, it was bring forth by James Marcia. So James Marcia is the pioneer in developing the identity status. So let's see what they have done. So, James Marcia abstracted and operationalized parts of Erikson's extensive theory, that is, we know Erikson's psychosocial development theory. So, James Marcia described four identity statuses as different ways in which adolescents may deal with the task of identity formation. So, we know that adolescence is the age group where we are exploring, or we are trying to establish any identity, that is social identity or gender identity or anything. So he started studying the adolescence in different aspects and came to the concept of identity status. So, in his approach, adolescents are asking questions regarding their exploration and commitment to issues related to occupation, politics, religion, and sexual behavior. So, studies assessing how teens pass through Marcia stages show that although most teens eventually succeed in developing a stable identity, the path to it is not always easy, and there are many routes that can be taken. So, some teens may simply adopt the beliefs of their parents or the first role that is offered to them, perhaps at the expense of searching for other more promising possibilities. So, in the case of the other teens, they may spend years trying on different possible identities before choosing final one. So, Marcia identified four identity statuses that represent the four possible combinations of the dimension of commitment and exploration. So, two dimensions are there, that is like the x axis and y axis of a graph. So, two dimensions, that is commitment and exploration. What if the commitment is high? What if the exploration is high? What if both are high? What if one is great and one is less? So, the first status is identity diffusion status. So, it is characterized by those who have neither explored the options nor made a commitment to an identity. So, the individual does not have firm commitments regarding the issues in question and is not making progress towards them. So, those who persist in this identity may drift aimlessly with a little connection to those around them, or having little sense of purpose in life. Second status is identity foreclosure. So, here it is for those who have made a commitment to an identity without having explored the options much. So these individuals has not engaged in any identity experimentation and has established an identity based on the choices or values of others. So some parents may make these decisions for their children and do not grant the teen the opportunity to make choices. So in another instances, teens may strongly identify with the parents and others in their life and wish to follow in their footsteps. So the next stage is identity moratorium. So it is a status that describes those who are exploring in an attempt to establish an identity but have not yet made any commitment. The individual is exploring various choices, but he has not yet made a clear commitment to any of them. So this can be an anxious and emotionally tense time period as the adolescent experiments with different roles and explores various beliefs. So nothing is certain and there are many questions but few answers. Then the last status is identity achievement. So it refers to the status for those who, after exploration, have made a commitment. So commitment and exploration both are high. The individual has assigned a coherent and committed identity based on personal decisions. So this is a long process and is not often achieved by the end of adolescence. Then we have one more concept, that is social identity. That means which social group which I belongs to, based upon our preference, based upon the knowledge. So that will have the onset at adolescence. So here is the summary of what we have discussed, that is two dimensions, commitment and exploration. So when commitment is high but exploration is low, it is foreclosure. When commitment is high and exploration is high, it is called identity achievement, which is the last stage. When commitment is low and exploration also is low, it is called the identity diffusion. And when commitment is low and exploration is high, it is called identity moratorium. So yeah, now I hope the concepts are clear for you. If you have any queries, please feel free to ask. I'll come back with another video. Stay tuned.